Alright, so changing directories is alright, and creating new files and folders is cool, I guess. But honestly, that's where the plebs call it quits. And that's not me, and that's definitely not you. In this video, we're going to learn how to find a file that's nested in a deep hierarchy of folders. To do so, we'll use the power of the find command. Let's say you want to get into contributing to open source. You found this new project called Nubuntu. It's kind of like Ubuntu, but clearly better because newer is always better. The first task you've been given on this new project is to find a file called user.c and update one line in it. The only problem is, when you download and look in this project, you realize that there's hundreds of folders and the file could really be anywhere. So instead of digging around and trying to find the file manually, you're going to use the find command. Alright, so this time around we're going to be working on an open source project together. Our first assignment is to find a file called user.c, and we just need to edit it a little bit. We need to update one line. But first we actually need to find the file. The project we're working on is called Nubuntu, and it's a really big project. There's lots of folders and files and stuff, so we're not quite sure where to find the file yet. But for that, we'll use something called the find command. And first things first, make sure you've downloaded the materials for this video. And then once you've opened the folder, make sure to navigate to it. And to do that, I'm going to show you a quick shortcut. If you have a folder you want to navigate to, but you don't want to type it out, you can just grab the folder and then drop it into the window. And this will automatically expand into the right path. And then if you need to quickly get to the front of the line, you can also hold Option and then click at the front. Now we can just type cd and we'll go straight where we need to. Alright, so now that we're there, let's go ahead and clear the screen and look around a little bit. And it looks like we have a few folders at the top level. And like I said, we're not really sure where the file we're looking for is. We do know that it's called user.c. So if you know the full name of a file, you can just tell the find command where you want it to start looking, and then give it the -name flag so it knows that it's looking for a name of a file specifically. So to do that, we'll just type find, and then period because we want to search in this current folder. And then we pass in -name, and then of course user.c. And then once we hit return, we see that it prints out exactly the path we need to get to the user.c. So we see it's in this MySQL 3 types, and then user.c. So next we can just cd into this folder. We'll just copy and paste this. And then do a quick ls. And we see there's a few things in here, but one of them is what we're looking for. So next, we'll use whatever text editor we want to edit this file. If you're used to using something like Sublime Text or TextEdit, you can just feel free to use that. I'm going to use a program called Vim, and it's actually a command line based editor. There's a few other ones like Nano and Emacs, and they're all great, but I like to use Vim personally. So to do that, I'll just type vim and then user.c. And then once you're in the file, all we need to do is come down here to the bottom, and we want to increment this user count from 0 to 1. And that's it. It was a pretty easy open source task, no big deal, but mission accomplished. And once you're done with that, you can just go ahead and go back to the command line. If you happen to be using Vim, you can do :WQ, that's how you get out. And if you want to learn about Vim or Emacs, I'll include a few links in the notes so you can go and learn more about those. And now that we've seen the most common example of how to use find, let's try a few other variations. First, we can cd back to where we were, and to do that, we use the cd- command. This just bounces you back to the last folder you were in. Now, let's say we want to find all of the Haskell files that are in this folder. To do that, instead of using a full name, we can use the star as sort of a way to search for stuff, and then append it with .hs. And that'll return anything that ends with the .hs extension. So to do that, we just do find, period again, and then name again, and then star.hs. And here we see we have 3 Haskell files. Alright, well what if we want to find, let's say, all the files that haven't actually been worked on yet, see who's slacking on the team. To do that, we could use something called the empty flag. So let's just clear this real quick. And then we'll do find, period, and then -empty. Looks like there's a lot of empty files in here. Looks like a few people have been slacking. But yeah, this is just another example, and there's plenty of other flags you can pass in, other ways you can find certain files. And to learn more, you can look at the man pages.